Hello, I'm back. I'm doing an experiment to see what sounds okay. I think last time I might have used my headphones while I recorded, and this time I'm going to try it without and see how the sound is. Anyway, um, I think today I want to talk a little bit about my cat Daisy. We got Daisy and Lily, their litter mates, 19 years ago. They had been thrown out after they weren't cute little kitties anymore, and they wanted to adopt them out together. And um, I chose to adopt them to so that Boston could have a friend. He immigrated. Boston is my ex's cat who immigrated with him from the UK, and he was so lonesome all day long and would cry all the time. And so I got the girls. Anyway, fast forward 19 years later, Daisy, um, when we came back from Missouri, was had showed signs of having cancer. She had an open wound and it wasn't going away. And I I tried to bandage it. She'd take the bandage off. Um, she started spending a lot of time outside, and not long ago I tried to drag her inside to clean her open wound because I didn't want it getting infected. I figured she's probably in the dying process, but she's old. She's 19. Um, but anyway, I managed to get her into the bath, and I bathed her and um, cleaned her wound up, put a bandage on her to try to keep the wound clean. But it seemed like it seemed like that wasn't the greatest idea, because whenever I could finally get her inside again to change the wound, flies had laid eggs, and when I took the bandage off, maggots came dropping out. It was so disgusting. It was horrifying. So I managed to get that cleaned up and bandaged her up again, because it was bleeding, and so I wanted to cover up the wound after I got her all cleaned up. But then she didn't come back after she finally, was free to go outside again. She didn't come back for like over 24 hours, and that wasn't like her, because she likes her food. And we were worried, and we thought, well, maybe she succumbed to the cancer, and started looking around and asking the neighbor if maybe we could look under their bushes and see if she was there, but we couldn't find her. And we thought, well, she's probably, died somewhere. And lo and behold, she came sauntering up to the front door going, meow, I want some food. And we were both so surprised, Dinar and I. And I gave her food, but then I also wanted to take off her bandage because I didn't want the same thing to happen that had happened before with the flies and the eggs. So I'm like, well, I don't really want to leave it open, but I think it's probably better to be able to just let her lick her wounds, and keep them clean, rather than have a bandage that's just going to keep all of that in and be an incubator for that kind of stuff. So I managed to get the bandage off with some struggle because she was trying to get away. And tried to give her some food, but she was we were gonna try to maybe keep her in the house, but she just was meowing, and she was at the back gate, and she wanted out. She didn't want to be in here. She didn't want to, be confined. And so I decided to just go ahead and let her out. I'm like, well, this is her last days. If she doesn't want to be confined, I'm not going to make her miserable. And I went ahead and opened up the front door and let her go. And she's never been back since. So we're guessing she's probably passed away. At this point, it's been almost a week since we've seen her. And yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, we kind of hoped that we could bury her here. Nara had dug a hole. I'll show you the hole that she dug in the ground for Daisy. But Daisy never came back. And I don't think that we're probably going to be able to recover her body unless some neighbor goes, oh, hey, your dead cat is over here. Anyway, so I guess we're gonna probably go get some daisies and plant them there instead to remember her by. But so long story short, I was looking, and my daughter made a memorial video for Facebook, and I'm like, I need to see if I can find any pictures of Daisy too. And I went through all of my albums on Facebook looking to see if I have pictures of Daisy. And I went through all kinds of memories, and some of the memories that I went through were those shared with my ex-best friend. And I got very nostalgic because just recently I found a box of very dusty pigs. I had a pig collection because it was a thing between me and my best friend that we would send them back and forth to each other as a joke, because our idea, the reason why, is that we would say men are pigs, and it became a joke between us, and we would send pigs back and forth as a funny thing. But anyway, I found a box of them, and I cleaned them up, and of course, I remembered Shannon and was thinking, about our past and how things went down, and we had our falling out, and and I've always told my daughter, I'm like, it's not that I don't love her. I do love her. I still love her, but having her cut me off like that without actually communicating is not okay. And I don't want to be a yo-yo. And I think, but so there's a part of me that's like, I'm not going to invite her back into my life to allow me to so that I can be a yo-yo again. I feel like I deserve more than that. After 30 years of being friends, I feel like I deserve more. Anyway, but so the pigs, and then the pictures, seeing the pictures of her with my daughter when she came to visit me, and I was getting really sentimental, and I just decided to go ahead and text her, and I sent her pictures, a couple of the pictures that I had of her and my daughter that I liked, and just told her that I missed her and I loved her. And so this brings me to what I guess I basically want to talk about, in that, I think forgiveness and redemption is an important part of life. And yes, we can hold grudges if we want, or we can keep people at a distance or whatever, but I think that you can still learn your lessons and make the necessary changes that you need to make within yourself, so that you can set healthy boundaries, so that you can communicate with people. But I think it's also important to nurture and foster relationships with people who genuinely mean something to you, and offer forgiveness and redemption. And although we haven't really discussed everything that went down. And I told my daughter, I'm like, eventually we'll get to that point, but right now it's just at the very beginning stages of actually opening up the line of communication again, which is a huge step. Normally I would probably never be the one to reach out, and I would wait for them to come back. But and I've always been the one I've been willing to take people back, but I've also not really aired all of my grievances and what it is that I need from a relationship. And I think that I'm at a mature enough point in my life that I can communicate that better now. So we'll see. I mean, it's just, it's the beginning stages. So we'll see where that goes. I do love her very much, and I'd love to rekindle our friendship if we can work things out. But I can't go back to her just slamming the door in my face every time she gets a little bit offended. I want somebody that's going to communicate with me and talk it out, and not just walk away whenever they're upset. I do believe in treating people the way you want to be treated. And I guess I probably slammed a few doors myself, but generally speaking, when I slam a door, I don't reopen it. I'm not as likely. And anyway, so yeah, I mean, basically, I think that there's a time and a place to open up dialogue and find out, the perspective of the other person, and hear the story, and let them express what they want to express, but also have the opportunity to share my thoughts and my feelings and how it hurt me, and I'm not opposed to reopening a friendship or whatever with someone that I've had difficulty with, but there has to be equal give and take, and there has to be really honest communication, heartfelt communication. And I hope that's where we're headed. She doesn't know that I have these videos, so I'm good right now. So anyway, yeah. So I guess what it makes me think about is another situation in my life where I think that there's somebody that I'd love to have the dialogue open, and but he'd have to come forward, and he'd have to contact me and share, because I know that there's a lot that he hasn't said. And I just want to tell you, if you're watching this, if you're listening to this, I'm open to hearing what you have to say, to understanding your side and your perspective. No hate, just an open heart and willingness to understand your side. And then we can see where we go from there. I don't, even though I probably should hate you, I don't, but I would love to hear your side. I've pretty much put my side out there. So you know how I feel, mostly, sort of. But anyway, I guess I've rambled on long enough and my phone's about to die, so I am going to end this video. I'll show you some of our painted rocks before I go. These were out front for a while, and we painted these rocks had a little rock garden. This is an old tree stump. It kind of looks like a grave. But maybe we'll take one of those rocks and paint it for Daisy. All right, have a good day. Talk to you later. Bye.